BTS Pro Series 4, though, is that out of the 8 teams, all of them move on to playoffs. No one's knocked out in this group stage. It's just to determine which 4 is upper bracket, which 4 is lower bracket.
Yeah, we got the top 4 teams making it to the upper bracket, and then the bottom 4 teams making the lower bracket, which is nice because we see a lot of the group stages where, if it's 8 teams, the bottom 2 is going to get eliminated. The 5th and 6th make a lower bracket, and the top 4 go to the upper bracket. So, we are going to see at least these teams in the playoffs, and we're going to see a little bit more games. So it's going to give some limelight to some of these newer teams, or I guess newer players. Execration and both Vice, like you said, have some of the experience coming through and have been in the scene for a while, but still I guess the rosters that might not be as known. But the Venomancer is going to get picked up here from Vice, so a hero that is slow to pair with the Tusk, just keep them inside that tag team. It's going to be really annoying to lane into.
And they've already gotten rid of the lifesteal. I wonder if they're just going to pick a Juggernaut just so that they have a way to straight up run away from all of this early aggression that might be coming through. I think that should be what Execration are prioritizing, is mobility. Like, if they didn't have a 4 already, they can go a Mirana, for example, just because you can leap out of anything. One of the Spirits would be totally fine for the mid lane in my eyes, just because you're able to get out of, well, a lot. Ember Spirit, perhaps, just because you could soak up a lot with the Flame Guard.
Sven's ready.
Okay. It's a little odd to me. Sven, he has the catch-up potential with just being able to move to the jungle and then, use the greater cleave, his inbuilt battle fury, basically, to farm that up if he's having a rough time in lane, which I'm predicting he will.
10 seconds remaining.
Even in pre
5 seconds
BKB, pre-Ags, I think he's going to have a rough time negotiating these team fights unless they pick an IO to pair with him, which is still on the board, and I believe Execration did pick during their open qualifiers run, so I think it's very much a possibility.
Yeah, can they... Oh, Omni's actually banned, okay. They pick up their own mag, so this is what I've seen a couple teams when you're up against Sven, you need your own kind of flash farming potential and steroid, and the mag has been a really good answer to kind of have the empower for yourself if you are a core, and also your fellow core heroes as well. So this is at least going to be nice where Vice can kind of keep up in the farm. Their lanes already look relatively strong here. My one issue is that if they put the Viper mid versus the Mag, Mag's going to be able to fall back and farm the jungle, but this seems like a lane where Viper's just going to dominate.
I think it's likely to be a position 3 Viper again. If I had to guess the last 2 heroes, I would say it's going to be Io and Storm Spirit, let's say, to come through as the last 2 Execration heroes. Puck, okay, fulfills the similar sort of thing. You're able to be quite mobile. I don't mind it. But yeah, I don't think they're going to... I mean, yeah, you're right. With this Magnus being picked up where it has been, it's a rough one because they could just switch where the Viper's going to be playing. You're totally right.
We haven't seen too much of the Puck lately as well. I mean, I guess it's really nice having Puck with someone who's going to be able to provide you some ways to deal with their positioning on the enemy team to pop that coil. I mean, you've got the Earth Spirit with the kick. It's definitely not as strong as some of the other combos, which can feel pretty nice, being able to really guarantee the coil break. But again, you highlighted that you kind of wanted to see the Storm Spirit and Puck just providing the same role, because Vice, they don't really have any way to deal with the Puck. Minimal amount of control at the moment, and they're looking for carry pick to go up against this matchup.
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Maybe a Monkey King?
Ooh, that's a lot of AoE damage. Uh-oh.
I'm feeling the Monkey King, just because you are one of those few heroes that can actually maybe stand and fight against a Sven when you're inside your Wukong's command. You're going to benefit from the Empower.
5 seconds
and yeah, Ricky, okay. Just trying to get more aggressive and exploit earlier timings than what Execration are hoping to have.
How are you a fan of the Ricky getting picked up? Because this is a hero that we're not really seeing as much on as some of the other position 1s. How is it going to end up faring in this game for Vice?
I think it depends where they lane it with the Tusk, like where Tusk's movement is going to be based around, right? Because you're just able to chase down absolutely anyone if you've got Tusk, Lich, and Ricky there. Even Ricky, Lich on their own is very, very strong, but the tag team combine that together with the tricks of the trade, it's just so much burst. So we'll see how they opt to go. Rupido might be in a little bit of trouble there if he's, in a vulnerable position. So it's going to rely heavily on his positioning, and I just want to see where Samael's going to be playing.
Yeah, I think early on, if Vice are able to start with this tri lane to get a kill early, kind of hinder the Viper, and then you've got this combo, which is you can have a lot of pressure on the lane with the Ricky and the Lich, someone who's got this built-in blink, so really able to utilize that Frost Jaw to play aggressive, but you gotta keep in mind, if the Lich gets caught out of position, then the Earth Spirit and Viper are just gonna absolutely punish them, and at the moment, I mean, you take a look, it's Execration really have this kind of wombo combo with just so much AoE damage with this Warlock, and yeah, it's going to be such an important target for Vice to be able to jump as the game goes on.
My thing as well is with the Warlock, it's so much AoE damage, right? But it's one of those heroes, support heroes, that just straight up feels like you cannot leave the lane unless it's, TPing to your tower to drop the rock and your fatal bonds, right? You're not going to be roaming unless it's with the entire rest of your team, whereas Lich and Tusk, they can roam on their own. They can get kills on their own. There's absolutely nothing to stop them. So I wonder how Vice might try and exploit that. The fact that they know where a hero is going to be 90% of the time in the first 8 minutes.
Just the plays that potentially can, I guess, come through with the Earth Spirit to at least offset what the Warlock's unable to do. We're gonna see what they can find in the jungle as well. There's this trio running through. Well, they find RR, and that looks like, although it does get a little bit of distance away, Palos with the blink forward, and now with the multi slows, RR is ultra dead. Palos able to find first blood. Very nice enough.
Dead on the dotted line.
I feel like we're going to be getting a lot of more chat this game.
Yeah. Like, plays pretty comfortable with each other. We saw a couple of good locks to some individual players, so nice little the respect coming out from either team. But this is now allows him, you already see the positioning from the Lich, just trying to hold that high ground. Those get scouted out, and it looks like Lich in trouble here as BTS doesn't want to skill up anything at the moment. Yeah, actually just goes for the boulder smash then. Okay.
The battle begins.
Yeah, we might be able to get that.
It's so scary to go into this. Yeah.
Mr. Bob had to skewer to cancel, so that's... I mean, he's still going to have a very good damage advantage regardless of going skewer here. You've got the, 69 damage at the moment. Got to keep in mind about the Calling Blades, the plus 18 there, and Puck has been a hero who your base damage over time is continuously got a nerf, so even though Mag doesn't have the Empower, should be able to last it relatively well for Bob.
I don't think Bob's going to have any worry at all. And this bot lane is where all the action's going to be. Tri-lane v tri-lane, that's what we love to see. Although Ara, after throwing out that Fatal Bonds, is just going to back it off. Rupido might be in trouble here though.
Looks like they're going to go straight forward here with the Warlock team being top. They don't have that extra protection. Not really if the Warlock was going to do much with these three heroes. I mean, it's just such a high kill threat lane with the trio that they have down bot for Vice at the moment. Really trying to utilize that tag team amplification early. And are they able to leave the Veno solo? Is this where we see the Tusk probably going to rotate over maybe in the next minute or so, or do you think they hold the tribe longer?
For now, it's fine. Like, you can see the wave is pushing all the way in towards his tower, so he's going to get his levels, and I think the kill threat is just way too much to give up at this point. You know BDZ has only got the Boulder Smash. He doesn't have the Rolling Boulder, so he has no way of getting away from all of these slows coming in onto him. I think they spotted him out as well. They know he's standing around. Doesn't want to show his face just yet, and they've spotted him.
Could be in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see if Zenki wants to pick up a point in the Aegis and drag it back to the Tusk, but Tusk's now going to be able to follow up, and Earth Spirit's just going to end up dying once again here for Execration down bot. That's This support duo here, you see what they're able to do even without the Riki. It's just a lot of damage. That Frost Blast has always been one of the best level 1 nukes.
Might be able to just TP away here on Enryu, although it looks like he's happy to just walk it off.
Are there any more creeps?
He
Taking
might
a lot
die
of
here.
damage actually. Yeah, he's tries to pop that Fairy Fire and Tango as well.
He's gonna have to stay standing under this this tower just for the extra. It's only 1 regen, but it's gonna be pretty significant for him.
Rapido down bot though could be in trouble since the Gaze dragged back with the Frost Blast. They still don't have the tag team now already been utilized, but Zenki trying to man fight under the tower with the poison attack. There's only 2 stacks at the moment, and now Shards as well, just making sure that BDZ can't follow up. But look at, I mean, he's unable to find any levels at the moment on the Earth Spirit. Hasn't dragged a wave. Zenki's just gonna deny himself, so gets some solo experience there, honestly, which is gonna feel nice. At least he can get closer towards the 2, which is now picked up.
Yeah. So it's not a guaranteed kill every single time now, which always a little bit of a bonus. Smail's coming back in. He's just got his eye shards again, and before he would be dead, but well, nope, he's still dead.
It's like Rapido's doing a decent amount of damage, but you got to keep in mind there's only 1 point in the poison attack, so well, he's going to be right there. Be able to keep his life. This is 18 to 12 for the Riki, who's 2-0-1 as well. It's an incredible start to their laning phase, and you got to keep in mind as well that this Riki is also going to get buffed up from Bob's in power as the game goes on, and it's not like the Veno isn't getting anything out of top. You see Enru 11 to 1, level 3, actually almost like 3 3/4 here, so still getting a decent amount actually from the Veno.
Yeah, he's totally fine with it. And sorry, how many last hits does the Viper have? 3. 3.
Yikes. I mean, this is Bob actually. And he's gonna commit 4 once he picks up the haste, so kind of continue diving, although still gotta be careful about the phase shift and the orb to be able to play around with. So keep both lives. Unfortunately, Bob doesn't get that refill in the bottle there, but we'll get a salve nonetheless.
Yeah, he should be fine. Excuse me. He's going to have the level 3 empower shortly, so this lane, it's obviously going to be quite tough with not picking up that rune in the bottle, but he can just rotate through, take the small camp, and be in position to just grab the bounty rune as well. Pop it in the bottle, be totally fine.
I see the bounties come up pretty shortly as well, where Vice are already getting set up for Execration. Contest the river one, although not really wanting to hunt, knowing that Rapido having to get a little bit of catch up in the jungle. Gets the last hit on the creep as well. You hate to see it. It's already been a rough start for the Viper. Might be able to at least be impactful here with the body blocks from BDZ.
Not the courier. Oh, not the courier. Oh, ignores it. Yeah, a little bit too late there, Smail.
Denied the bounty though, at least before he died, so take that one away from Execration. They get a kill, which is something that they were definitely requiring, so it's going to allow Rapido to come bot, get some experience, knowing that they, I mean, without the Lich there, he should be okay to at least soak up a wave or 2.
Alright, I was having to TP back to the tier 2 tower, so decent harass coming out from Enryu. But the Sven's starting to stamp his control here. Right now, at this point, it doesn't feel like the Warlock even needs to be close by. It's just too much kill potential from this Sven on his own.
Like, yeah, Ara is just going to try and prioritize a couple of stacks, amplifying that Sven, and Puck has the coil now, so Mag is a hero who really wants to just kind of shove out the lane, go back, farm the jungle, so Bob's not really going to make too many plays across the map. So we'll see if Ken's going to be able to utilize this with kind of making the aggressive movements and recognizing that the Mag's just going to have to kind of play around mid, whereas he's someone who can put a lot more emphasis on ganking the side lanes.
I mean, yeah, a regen was just picked up by the Puck, and oh, that's not good. Having the courier killed there, so... Wait, what killed that? I'm pretty sure it was the neutral creeps.
I mean, that was the treads as well from Palos, so... That would have been a lot of damage, actually.
We've got a new patch coming soon. I think the fact that, this whole rune situation is the way that it is a little weird. Rapido's gonna die now.
Ken, TP rotation. They get the Sinister Gaze, but it's not gonna matter here as Ken just blows up both the supports in the back. Nice TP rotation from that Puck, getting involved with the ultimate, which is massively required with how Execration have had a very rough bottom lane. You don't need the help at the moment from the at least the Sven, who's free farming up top, so just help bot try and find a couple kills, and Ken just does that.
Ooh, nice bottle refill coming through from the Lich there. How would you feel about this? How would you feel about in the river, like at the power runes? It's all very nicely done.
Nicely done. Sinus' gaze just at the perfect timing to prevent the orb, and Bob drops the RP as well. Insta couple tips there. Nicely done.
So, like now, the power rune still spawns every 2 minutes from 4 minutes. But at the other site, another rune spawns, but it doesn't do anything. The only thing it does is refill the bottle. I think that's pretty balanced, right? Because it just means that one hero isn't hugely advantaged by luck, essentially every game. It kind of levels the playing field a little bit. What do you reckon?
I don't think they can get rid of the power runes, even though I think, well, like, you don't want seeing a mid lane get seeing a mid hero get a regen or a DD can literally just turn a matchup on its head. It's just stupid. So I don't think it's so difficult to be able to deal with that.
Ricky's in trouble.
Yeah, meanwhile bot Ken kind of setting up there for the kill on top of the Ricky. They get the gaze. Unfortunately, it's actually on top of the Viper, and Ricky's been able to keep his life for a little while now with the blink strike back towards the creeps. He's going to try and utilize that secondary blink, but it's not enough to provide the space now with the rotation coming through. It's going to be able to find Ken, but a quick silence preventing any more follow-up here. In fact, he actually wants to go for a Rapido, but that could be a little bit more difficult because the Viper has got 3 points in the poison attack, and Ken can still jump back forward as well. Finds a vision of Zenki in top of the tree line. Doesn't have any more abilities to be able to utilize here, so the Lich try and get the kill, but won't be able to. And maybe Tusk can at least find that little bit of damage required to kill off the Viper, and yeah, he indeed will. Gets a solo kill, but a TP potential as well, so he should be okay.
Yeah, he's a speedy boy. He's got obviously the 3, I think it's 15 move speed base from the Tusk, and then treads, phase boots and the windlace on top of that. So there's no way they're catching him at this point.
I agree that they need to do something definitely with the runes mid. It's stupid how it's able to turn a matchup on its head. So what, your 2 runes, one of the runes just...
Here's a power rune, and the other rune just refills the bottle. It does nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it gets rid of that 50% chance where it literally just takes it over, and at least you have the... we'll still see probably fights around the runes though, just because of how important the power. And I think that's a nice thing as top lane. Once again, Ricky's in trouble. Just whenever the coil is available, they're really able to make a play come through with the Puck and the Earth Spirit. I think it's nice at least with the power runes because it gives you an opportunity to have, if no kills come through throughout the first like 3.5 minutes, then more than likely you're going to see a rotation from the supports, and it gives you an objective where a kill can potentially break out. But yeah, they need to kind of offset the 50-50 chance.
The bounty which will let you have the prize.
I agree.
I mean, I think there's a lot that people are looking for in this next patch. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one, and more than likely it's going to be through the tournament as well. So that's going to be interesting to see how teams are able to kind of adapt and work out what is strong and what is not. Some teams are always better at being able to work out the meta fast, so you got to keep in mind, it feels like it's been ages now, but TNC with that first major of the DPC, they winning that tournament with the Morph Earthshaker, which they dominated on. That was a combo that everyone was starting to run, but also they just felt like they were able to understand the Venomancer at an incredibly high level. So TNC are a team that at least you're able to kind of adapt. So I'm intrigued to see how some other teams are going to be able to with that patch.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But meanwhile, Palace is going to be able to take the T1 tower up top, so he's working on the Diffuser Blade. Meanwhile, Sven is still, you got to keep in mind, had a very, very free lane. So 109 last hits at the moment. He's going to be going for the Echo Saber after the Mask of Madness. Haven't really seen too many stacks at the moment around the triangle, but let's see how Radiant going to be able to play to get set up and controlling this area. And Rue's already kind of playing the dead lane, so just going to make it very difficult for Dire to infiltrate this side.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his maxed out Plague Wards now, so it's going to be tough unless they dive right on top of him
Dire's
to
top tower is under
get any
attack.
damage done to this tower. It's still full HP, so right now it's just getting that experience up on him. He's even buying. He's got the urn already, but another 1600 gold, maybe an urn? He's already got enough gold
middle
for it.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's got a decent amount at the moment actually from the Vener. Do you think he wants to try and commit for a Spirit Vessel or just keep the urn like it is and go for like a utility item?
I think Veil is pretty good. I think I said urn twice, sorry. I meant Veil when I said it before.
It's late here. We can excuse 2 AM right now. Whew.
Yeah.
Going deep into the night.
Gonna crack open a second monster.
Yeah, might have to get to that, honestly. It's keep active and aware in this last series as we are finally seeing. I mean, this is going to be a very, very hard kill, and Radiant, they're already in position to pop the smoke here, but they've got the ultimate, so Execration really want to try and utilize it here. Foil, only on top of one. Meanwhile, Yahweh's going to try and get in range, but a quick silence prevents the other here now with the golem followed up.
Nice chain frost.
Nice combo, but look at the damage that's coming out through the lich at the moment. Now the snowball dodges a lot of the damage. Beautifully done from the duo support in Vice, that chain frost and then the snowball delaying the damage there. And man, what looked like a great fight from Dire just turned on its head. Lich was the hero with the highest amount of damage there.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about before, just this massive power spike that can come from position 5 support, you know. Single spell. It's the same thing will happen at level 12. The buff up from 250 damage per bounce to 400, and the fact that it increases per bounce is enormous, you know, at both of those stages of the game.
And imagine if they had a Veil there as well. I mean, it didn't look like it was really necessary, but that would have been just the amp that can potentially come through. And it's just so...
the vessel.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a very nice item early on. Be able to help out a ridiculous amount. And I mean, you saw how difficult it was to be able to kill off Enver, and now they know that all the ultimates are pretty much down on Dire. I mean, no Golem. Sven ulti's down for a little bit, Magnetize down for a little bit as well. So Enver walking mid, try and get the Plague Ward set up, but looks like it's still going to be relatively hard to put some pressure on the tower here, because they've got a Riki as their one, which isn't naturally known as one of the best heroes to hit objectives.
No, absolutely not. It needs to be the Mag doing it. He's nearly got his Blink Dagger though, so by the time he goes back, picks it up, regens up, he should be ready to fight, as his RP will be off cooldown as well. Going a little bit too deep there on Samael. I think he can just, you know, exercise a little bit more patience there.
I know as well, might be in trouble. Dodge both the abilities from the Earth Spirit, and now BDZ is like, well, can't really commit forward too far. Is even going to be careful if he runs on top of Zenki with this Spirit Vessel. You see how much damage it just does. So much work, and now Palace is even going to show up as well. As this Diffusal Blade completed.
Alright, here we go. Blink Dagger, RP just came off cooldown. Now's the time to go.
They got a really nice kind of deep ward at the moment as well, blocking off one of the Dire camps around that tier 2 mid, so giving them a lot of information on the back line.
You can just stay mid, you know, just push this forward, keep putting up his Plague Wards, and then eventually you'll have
nice skill RP Chain Frost. Bam, Bob, nicely done. You saw Zenki saw both of them, and that ward giving them a lot of information there. Just finds the angle, gets a skill up, grouped up, and then finally Zenki drop of the big ulti that we've seen this Chain Frost do a lot of work so far, and Vice are looking good throughout this game. 2,000 net worth lead. They've got the Venomancer set up with the Plague Ward, so this should be a tier 1 tower that's going to end up falling.
Lich, one of those heroes that really doesn't need all that much. They're going to try and kill Enryu, but he's going to get his full complement of spells off.
Like even Ken's going to be able to control up the mag as well, but there's no more follow-up. They've already lost that tier 1 tower, and Yahweh, if he continued forward with the Poison Over, you already see he's about down to half HP. So, unfortunately, already popping the Mag RP and the Chain Frost. They didn't feel content with even trying to punish that move from, you know, killing off the Venom. But they do get the tier 1 tower mid, which is very important here from Vice.
Oh, somehow catch out the puck. He's got the Diffusal, okay. Just sticking him inside there.
Very nicely done from Palace. It's a pretty big kill there. We've seen the puck be a bit of a nuisance. 443 gold for the Riki. And he's already got the Yashina completed as well. So, you know, Ricky's doing relatively well in farm. You see actually that the Viper on Dire, you had a very rough laning stage and 2, 5, and 4 at the moment. Only 61 last hits, really having a bit more of a rough game here, unfortunately.
Even just the puck, right? Like, even despite all of those fantastic rotations coming through, it doesn't translate into net worth if you don't get objectives based off of those. Whereas Magnus, he's come through, he's been able to take towers, he's been able to get multiple RPs and actually transition from there.
He's also working on that next BKB as the item, but Radiant, they just allow the Venoman to just play this mid lane with not really caring the world. You drop all the plague wards. It's so difficult for Dire to be able to find the jump and look at kind of the information that he's providing them. Like mid shoved in, Ken at least with the positioning. They do scan, however, Yaoi. Alright. So he's almost got the BKB picked up though. This is going to be pretty big for Execration.
Yes. Again, it's the point that I was making before though. Like, it feels like with RR making these rotations through, it doesn't really matter if he's there at a team fight that's going to have a singular pick-off or not, right? He makes no change. If you've got nothing to Fatal Bonds, that ability does nothing. Shadow Word has such a short range that you're not going to get it off, and he's got level 1 upheaval and you don't want to drop your Chaotic Offering. Whereas a Lich, you have lower cooldowns on your abilities, you synergize together really nicely with your Tusk. You know, you can just let him go balls deep, drop your Frost Shield onto him, and then get some good follow-up damage. So that's why I really like it.
Yeah, you see the support duo at the moment from Vice doing a lot more, and unfortunately that Earthspirit had a bit of a rougher time in the lane and wasn't really able to make the rotations to kind of take over the early game that we see so often that the Earthspirit's able to do. But Dire, bring the numbers down. Bob's actually just going to blink aggressively. They drop the coil, which does end up getting snapped for the mag. He's going to drop the RP. Solo's taking up a lot of damage. Now the ultimate's going to get dropped as well. Dire, there's the rotations, and now with 3 heroes down, they're in trouble to continue forward, and Rue has to drop the ultimate, which Repeater, if he could get denied here from RR, unfortunately won't be able to do so. But they're still trying to catch more as Tusk on top of the back line. They had that ward on the high ground, so they're well aware of position. Even the creep just continuing to chase. Maybe unfortunately unable to find that Warriors Punch tag team. Beautifully timed there from the Earth Spirit. Kicks back underneath the T2 tower. He's making it work for it. The phase boots and the wind lace. He's moving incredibly fast here, and he's still got a couple more stones to be able to utilize. Actually finds a connection. Silence is off the mark. So look at the time wasted. He's trying to duke and jive back and forth. At least they're not. Oh my god! What is he doing? He's just styled on them. Please don't TP out in their face. There's no way he makes it out. Okay, thank the Lord. If he actually escaped there with getting the kill, oof.
Maybe it is Samael, you know? You never know.
Wow, that was.
But yeah, those are the sorts of team fights that you want as the Warlock, right? As soon as everyone turns up, suddenly his impact quadruples. But other than that, it feels like he's just a roaming ward.
And he's going to turn into pretty much a roaming ward for the next 90 seconds here. It's nice Atos stops the mag in his place. I mean, he's got the haste still to be able to utilize, but you take a look at the damage. He's going to have to retreat away. He's able to roll forward, but he's kind of committed on top of the Venomancer here. He's going to eat a little bit of damage. Slow's going to work. He's even got that Grove Bow as well, so just reducing the magic resistance from the Earth Spirit.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Double poison sting on him as well. Always very annoying.
Structures are fortified.
Radiant, they actually smoke up, so they're trying to look to take a fight here. And Bob's got his ulti, but up in actually 10 seconds. So, a smoke where he haven't been able to find much out of it, honestly, unfortunately.
I'm not sure what this Manta Style's objective really is for the Ricky, right? Yeah, you can get out of it. Look, they found out here. It's the Earth Spirit, but reasonable large commitment here. Nice Chain Frost again, but will the bouncers be lucky for him?
Yeah, we on top of the back line. Tries to deal with the Venoman, so we already got the ultimate off, but regardless, there's Ven not getting tanked up with the Poison Nova. The Tusk once again slowly kills the puck. I mean, he's got the blink after that kill, and with 2 points in the tag, sorry, 2 points in the Warriors Punch and that maxed out tag team, you do so much damage, and you just see Puck's positioning. You don't have the greatest amount of armor on this hero, 8 at the moment, so I guess it's better than some of the other heroes. But yeah, nice little pick off there.
It's kind of like that thing that you were saying before, though, with the Ricky. He wasn't there for the entire team fight. In the meantime, he was pushing this bottom lane, but it's not like it's a Morphling. It's not like it's a Lifestealer or a Juggernaut or anyone else. He does nothing to that tower. Essentially, he just pumped a wave underneath it. Sure, they lost one wave of creeps, but I mean, is it really worth it when 2 of your heroes are dying in exchange for an Earth Spirit? Probably not.
Yeah, this is the... I was going to say, this is the factor when you win a team... Actually, BDZ. Just, another aggressive move and try and deal with the Sporter, though. Radiant, they're coming over to try and punish this, though, with the RP out the 2 from Bob. He's got a double damage rune as well to be able to utilize. Kicks him out of the coil, so that's stunned. Bob's still going to try and look to at least skill them away, as Repeater's going to end up paying the price. A buyback from the Warlock just in case this fight continues to break out a little bit longer, but the Tusk going to try and get involved. Yaoi, about half HP at the moment, and Ruse tanked up a lot of the damage, but with the ultimate on cooldown, unable to punish this long drawn-out fight. But there we go, the Golem dropped. Pelos, he can kite this one out here, but the silence preventing. He's got the Manta if he wants to try and get out of the silence. Palace doesn't do so just yet until the last second. Where's the detection actually coming out for them? He's going to try and find the Tusk. They can go back forward here. Oh, yeah, he gets the vision. Back forward, they find the puck once again. Oh no, this phase shift Ken out of range. And now with the orb as well, playing around chops. And an item, an ultra for Yaoi is... I mean, the fight from Execration just breaking out in their favor.
Yeah, they had the detection. They dropped the dust for him, and that's what he was actually waiting for before popping the Manta style. But just getting a little bit too overconfident, you know, moving forwards more deeper into Execration territory and falling underneath that sentry ward that was used to de-ward that hard camp that we saw before.
Big swing for Execration, as they're going to be able to take the T1 tower mid as well, which just continues to open up the map control. We see Yaoi. He is incredibly farmed, although let's see if he's in trouble at the moment. Poison Nova is going to try and move forward with the God Strength and action just melts through the Venomancer. And now Zenki didn't get any more follow-up off with the Chain Frost. Now gets it, but Yaoi can always turn with the BKB if need be, but it looks like it won't even matter here as
the golems.
He's got to be careful though. Pella's going to try and jump to the back line. The BKB's a bit late. The physical damage from the Ricky is going to be enough to be able to bring him down. And Arcane with the follow-up initiation drops the coil, controlling up 2. Viper's in a bit of a trouble. Drops the ultimate, but it looks like still is going to pay the price as Vice punished to try and force out this kill on top of this Venice. And tries to attempt a cute play from the toss, but it's not going to end up working in his favor. So Vice, they end up losing 4 here and still that tier 1 mid.
They got a second out of the BKB, which is not too bad. And if you're killing the Sven, that's by far at the top of the net worth, 5k worth. I'd say it's reasonably worth it. Palace got the kill as well, so 700 gold being funneled his way. He needs a BKB badly on this Ricky. It forces the puck to go into that Aghanim Scepter, which she is, but perhaps a little earlier than she might like.
Ken all falling incredibly low. Bob's still hunting. If Ken's going to be able to dip out, it's got the blink. And look at the mobility. Blink, Force, Orb, and Waning Rift. A hero that's going to be incredibly difficult to be able to catch him. I mean, see the Tusk do a relatively good job so far against the puck, but Ken's still 9, 4, and 11, really playing with his food so far this game. And in Execration, they've been able to accumulate a 3,000 net worth lead so far, 25 minutes into this game 1, and like they're grouping up for a smoke potentially.
Wonder who the main target is going to be of this Tusk once he finishes up his Ag Scepter. I would say the Viper most likely.
Right on top of the Venomancer, just without the ultimate, tries to get some distance with the Force, but unable to do much. And Palace could be in trouble as well. They dropped the coil, but unfortunately unable to find the connection. But it looks like instead they might get a hero that's not as important. But the Tusk has been a thorn in their goddamn backside, so it looks like they'll punish the Tusk from playing a little bit too far pushed up here.
Tried for the blink, but just went right into the Sven. A little bit unfortunate there. And, well, when that team fight happens and you're right next to the Roche pit, you might want to do it. Nope, they're going to think, well, there's a Ricky and a Lich that I want to kill. So, apparently kills are worth more than a Roche.
Unfortunately, they're not going to get that. Did they switch Spore into Roche now? I don't see why they... The Sven's got the ultimate. They can definitely take it if they want to. And, you've got the Golem available to rock and roll, and... Coil's not too long of a cooldown, so yeah, you've got everything available right now from Execration if you want to continue taking some engagements. Is
Ooh, too slow there on Palace. Not able to get the silence through before Puck's able to jaunt away. Even then, more ultis used, not for any effect.
Oh, Bob might be able to cancel the TP. Nicely done. They find Ken, but Yowie in top of them. They drop the golem on both. So much damage coming through with the AoE. Now with the roll forward as well. Follows the silence on top of the Ricky. They want the better hero in this position. One nice man to dodge, but it looks like he's still in trouble. Jumps down to the low ground, but where's the vision? Superman Sven to the rescuers. That's an ultra for Yowie. And we are...
Oh, he's gone for the tusk. Nah, he's backing off.
We've seen some nice combos come out from the that chaotic offering and the Sven stun as well so far through this game. And you know, they've been able to gather now a 7,000 net worth lead, and just we brought up that they had all their ultimates, and why not take a fight? And they did just that, honestly, and did it incredibly well.
I think that's the sort of thing that separates, you know, these open qualifier teams from the direct invites, is that, you know, I can't see someone like TNC, for example, not realizing that situation with the ultimates, right? They would have just taken the advantage, taken the Roshan, and then, you know, even if they get a team fight like that to happen, you have then the Aegis on your Ricky, and you're able to turn things around and, you know, actually potentially win the team fight.
Yeah, but now it puts them a little bit further behind here, as you know. At least you haven't given up the Aegis and the Venom. I mean, I think Enbrew now just has to kind of play around the triangle, really get set up with the Plague Wards, and continue to provide some information just in case they do walk inside Roche. So Execration probably needing a pick-off until they do that, and it looks like bot. Well, Pelos is going to be their target here, is diving underneath the tier 2 tower. The rotations are coming through, but it's in form of a smoke instead of the TP, so it's going to be a little bit longer for the Ricky to get some backline help here as Kent. Nice jaunt away. BTS's going to be able to get the roll as well, but now, oh my god, Bob, RP hasn't used it just yet. Sven, he pops the BKB already, so the damage isn't going to come through it. Now Bob, he's in trouble. They're going to try and turn to deal with him. Ken's going to end up falling, but what's the consequences? The Superman falls,
nice chain
finds
frost.
one. The chain frost stopping the aggressive plays coming out from Execration. They can't kite forward, and are they actually going to be careful? They've kited out the BKB on top of the Sven. Ricky's going to go back forward here with the damage over time. They're going to be able to bring him down, and Venomancer, he wants more blood. He blinks forward aggressively. They'll deal with, oh, potentially Ricky actually going to be careful here, but the Atos going to do nothing as Radiant, they've got the protection. Now they're going to go back forward for more with the punch cancels the TP. Looks like the start, which was Bob, is going to help close this one out with a triple kill. Beautifully done. That's a 5-for-1.
That's some C Dota if I've ever seen it in my life. Just all in, diving too deep past the tier 2 tower, and you're paying the price for it. It can look fantastic when it pays off, but not the case this time around, and they're going to be rewarded not only with that, but all 4 bounties, and they're going to get the double damage, and they're pinging out this Roshan.
Again, the issue is that the objectives that they're able to take. I mean, they did, that team fight was by their tier 2 tower, so having to get the lane shoved in and then get to the towers afterwards, you see, unfortunately, they'll get the objectives and the bounties. So 4 across the map, which is going to really minimize the net worth lead that Execration have, but you're still waiting to see a team actually walk inside Roche and think to claim it. Maybe Dire might, but I mean, the ultis are almost back up though from Radiant.
He's just going to make sure that this bot lane is pushed in here on Palace. That telescope being picked up is really nice for the Lich as well. Yes, he's holding on to the Philosopher's Stone right now, but in a team fight, that can be enormous for even someone like a Ricky. Just that extra in a little bit of range for the Blink Strike.
Might look to try and punish the Venomancer's positioning at the moment. Core is going to end up breaking. Ultra dead. BDZ's hunting for more as well. He's got Bob on the backline with a DD. Let's see if he wants to try and pressure this one out. Ken's actually going to reveal himself now instead. They drop the RP along with Pelos being able to jump on forward here, so Ken pays the price. They're going to drop the ult, and where's the fall from this Sven at the moment? He hasn't showed up. Thinking about trying to back off here, as it looks like Vice is going to pay the price, as Lich will end up falling. I mean, was a lot of the ultimates used, and now with these on cooldown, it looks like Radiant, but think to follow
Oh,
up
the body
with the
blocks.
Atos, Palos, able to get the Mantra off, and now with the Jaunt back to safety. Bob wants to fall with the skill of Dragon's Vent underneath the tower, but Yaoi, he pops the
Hide him
BKB.
out.
Hiding him very nicely done with this Walrus Punch, but now he utilizes the ultimate as well. The BKB is about to expire, so you got to be careful on top of this Vent. They're going to go back in once again. A double 4-star providing him some space here, Dire. How do you get set up to continue with this fight, knowing that your ultimates and your BKB have been completely wasted? Like, they just have to hard reset.
Regen top as well, so if you're wanting that reset.
Another pretty nice fight coming through from Vice. They deal with the puck straight away, just Bob revealing that Silver's Edge there, dropping the RP, and this is now a game where it feels like it's honestly anyone's game.
Oh yeah. Man, the fact that Roche is still standing is stunning to me. Surely you want an extra life if you want to fight this much.
No teams really thought about it, honestly. I mean, you'll probably see them continuing to get set up, but I mean, their ultis are now down still for a little while, so they're going to be careful with how they position across the map here.
They've got a bit of a roaming core ganking squad coming through here. Bottling up the Ricky. Making sure he's pretty healthy.
What's the B? Okay, so 10-second BKB from Palace at the moment. We do see though the Radiant heroes are starting to skyrocket in farm. Like Palos and Mag with the Empower really keeping up with this Ven, who was what I swear about like 7,000 ahead of the Ricky earlier on, and just throwing these past couple of fights, it's really hindered what the Viper's being able to do in net worth wise, and Puck as well hasn't really been able to. I mean, he's got the Aghanims, which is going to be incredibly nice to kite them through these engagements, but.
Especially with the breaking the spell immunity as well. Those BKBs suddenly a whole lot more useless. And, you know, now, when they actually had to run all the way out there, they're finally doing Roche. They're sick of the Sven dying. They might even give it to the Puck, honestly. It feels like Ken's the one dying at the start of all of these different encounters.
Well, Radiant should be aware of this. No one's defending bot. And top shoved in and no one hitting the tier 2.
There's pigs everywhere on the map.
A frenzy. What's going on is Zenki trying to de-ward. Spirit's going to be able to get the roll, kick back, tries to get towards the rest of the team, but now they don't find the proper initiation. The Golem as well is not going to do a whole much. Svensson pops the BKB, but the RPs, where's the follow-up coming through? They got the protection, the magic unity. Now the Chain Frost groups up. Look at the AoE go to work. The Sven trying to get out of range of this with the Superman. Mag's in trouble as well with the BKB wearing off. Palace is going to try and clean up, however, straight on top of Rapido, and with the back, Tusker shreds down another, but the big issue is that Yaoi with the Sven, he's still got this draw to be able to utilize here, so it's going to be a 4 for 3, a potential full 5-man wipe as this Superman in and out they go. 16 and 3 at the moment for your Sven, and I mean, you saw it was a beautiful RP Chain Frost. They kited out the BKB, but still this Sven, I mean, he's level 27. Oh my god.
It's pretty deadly. I think that time around, not to try and lay blame, but the Tusk seemed a little greedy just to up his kill score a little bit. The Warlock had gotten off his full combination of spells, right? The bonds were down, the heal was off, the rock was dropped, and then instead of actually blinking in onto the Sven to make sure he couldn't re-engage onto that Ricky, and Ricky could potentially turn around and kill him, he just opts to try and kill the Warlock. And at the end of the day, Warlock was not a threat in that team fight, so they were punished for it.
They might punish BDZ though, who...
He's level 23, by the way.
Ooh,
that is the longest chains I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, he's also doing pretty well in levels at the moment. You see Lich, unfortunately, 17, and well, I mean, he's 3, 6, and 25, the Force and the Lotus Orb. So yeah, Spirit, very high level. But I mean, we're still yet to see his first Roche. I can't believe it. 36 minutes in, Execration with the 4,000 net worth lead, but no one has taken Roche on.
I can't believe Sven didn't get it. It was literally a full man wipe and he was in mid. Like, why not just take it?
They don't want the extra life. They want to make it an even game here. They want to. Last year is both the open qualifying teams going head to head, just trying to make an even playing field.
Sure, let's call it that.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Now there's even less reason to go on the Warlock very shortly because he's almost hit his level 20, so it'll actually give them an extra golem, extra stuns. So please ignore him as soon as he gets off his abilities. If you can 100 to 0 him, sure, go nuts. But yeah, it's not the go to try and focus on a support. The time is gone for, you know, value kills or an extra 200 gold if it's actually going to lose you the team fight.
They're going to try and smoke up. Venom's in a very good spot to be able to pop this, and the
Dire
Yeah,
are
the
information
Flagwood.
is so important. We've seen who's able to find the
They know.
proper initiation. Now, can they hold the high gun though? BDZ, a bit far away from the team. Nice Blink's going to provide the space. Venom's still trying to get set up, but BDZ now is still going to keep in mind of where he's positioning.
Sven's
But on
in.
top of the back line, Sven, he doesn't help with the rest of the team, but the Warriors Punch is going to control him through the BKB and the Gold String. If they can retreat away, it's going to be beautiful for Vice at the moment. It looks like they're going to be able to do so
BKB's
successfully.
gone.
Now back forward, Yaoi without the BKB. RP on top of the back line. Bob, he finds a couple of heroes, but where's the follow-up skill? Straight on top of the higher gun. Now the Chain Frost's going to come through just before the Sans. The Golem gets dropped as well, but it looks like Sven, still without the magic immunity, is able to have a relatively free
Frost
fight, just
still
going
going.
back and forth. The Chain Frost doing a lot of damage. Rapido will end up falling to Palace, jumping back forward, but he doesn't have the mana, has to pop the
Nice
BKB to get rid of the silence. They're going to buy back on Tusk. They want to try and pressure this Sven out at the moment, but does he want to turn instead and try and man fight? He's got a little bit of sustain coming through from the Paladin Sword, and now with the Stormhammer 4, the Cleaver's
Surely
going to
not.
work. Yowie, he's going to be able to do it. Turns and deals with them both. That's a full 5-man wipe. Tusk is down 110 seconds. A dieback for him. And what looked like an incredible start. The Veno pops the smoke. They get so much information. The Earth Spirit initiation's completely useless. Yaoi pops that God Strength BKB, completely useless at the far. But this is just the thing about this Ven. Like, it just feels like even if you kite the BKB, this superhero that can just jump with a 7-second cooldown with your mobility, it just doesn't matter.
I would be fine with the hero if when they had him down at like 2% HP, he wasn't able to just instantly go back towards top, like just win the fight from there. It just seemed a little bit ridiculous. They've caught out the Lich one more time. Not sure what he's doing there, to be perfectly honest, but yeah, he was never going to be in any sort of danger with that double damage coming through.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Well,
First
is under
Roche,
attack.
39 minutes. Let's
There
go.
we go. This is probably one that's going to be very difficult for them to be able to deal with now. I mean, Yaoi, he's 23 and 11. He's already got the Aghanim's Blessing as well. So he is incredibly farmed. 27,000 net worth lead at the
Radiant's
moment here.
middle tower is under
And
attack.
they're looking to try and put some pressure on top of the map.
What's that neutral item situation like? Unluckily, they do actually, sorry, have the repair kit on the Tusk. So if they do need to defend, then that's the time to do it. But we've also got tier 4 items coming through, and those are some pretty damn good ones, especially the Havoc Hammer for the Earth Spirit.
See what else we got. Magic Lamp, Princess Knife. So a couple of the items, nothing too fancy at the moment, but I mean, with how this game's
Radiant are
looking,
scanning.
it just seems like the execution is there from Execration. They haven't been able to, they don't have an answer to this Ven, it feels like. Although they're going to try and protect the tier 2. Hellos moving forward, they'll drop the RP as well. So Sven, he's still got this extra life. Meanwhile, on top of the backline, Enroot's a decent ultimate as well. They're kind of kiting out this fight, but can they do so successfully with the second life? However, the
He's got everything.
pops the ultimate. Now the Gold Strength as well is going to try and turn with the Abyss Blade Snowball. Does it give the protection for this Ricky, who the BKB is about to expire, but they want to go back in. However, Palace going to try and clean off the Earth Spirit. They drop the rock. Warlock's already full on top of the backline from Bob, but now can they continue kiting this Ven? That's the big question here. Is going to try and force on top of the Tusk. Will pay the price here. It's 3 for
Radiant's
1.
bottom tower
As
is
you
under
see, I mean,
attack.
yeah, they got the first life,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower
what
has
more can
fallen.
you get, man? This hero, he's too farmed.
He's way too farmed, and Bob's caught on the other side of the map with 30 seconds on his
Radiant's
TP.
bottom
So
tower
when
is
you've
under
got this
attack.
fed, still a few seconds left in his God Strength, chunking down your
Radiant's
towers,
bottom
you
tower
are
has fallen.
concerned.
I mean, that
Radiant's
ulti's
bottom
about to wear off, but
barracks are under attack.
he still just does so much damage. There's still at least tier 2's mid and top, and they're not going to be able to get any
Radiant's
more
bottom
sets of
tower
racks. Although they, I mean, mid lane shoved in, so they can probably take the tier 2 mid and even walk up high ground again if they really want to.
Radiant's
They got a
middle
double
tower has
catapult
fallen.
wave and a couple of
Radiant's
golems as well
middle
to be able to
tower is
utilize
under
here. And
attack.
And unfortunately, it looks like Enru's trying to do his best to cut mid, but
Radiant's
might
middle
cost him his
tower
life
has
as
fallen.
BDZ and Ken's just going to continue
Radiant's
chasing him
middle
down.
tower is under attack.
Difficult kill, but the Venom will end up falling as he does not have a buyback, so the sacrifice of trying to delay mid, cutting the wave, is going to end up costing him his
Radiant's
life.
middle barracks has fallen.
It's a rough one. I honestly thought Vice had this at various points, but then, you know, Sven just reaches critical mass, so you never want to be going to Ricky and then banking on the late game.
I mean, now there's even a Viper with the E-Blade picked up, so
Radiant's top
he's going to
tower
have a
is
little bit
under
more
attack.
of a defensive factor just in case he gets jumped, or even the Sven being able to burst him down, because the damage from Vice, I mean, they do have, I guess, the Chain Frost, a lot of that burst potential,
Radiant
but
are scanning.
it's mainly the physical now that's really starting to show from the Mag and the Ricky.
It's nice for the Ricky to be able to try and kite out this Sven with the level 25. He's got the lower cooldown on the tricks of the trade, so you've got 4 seconds of vulnerability, but if you've got that Black King bar up, you can dodge a little bit of it. I think they've been pretty good in using the snowball to kite out that BKB a lot of these times, but an OP hero is an OP hero.
Nicely done from Bob. Actually dodges out the coil there from Ken. He could have been in a bit of a tricky spot. It's like, what are they going to offer up here? I mean, still knowing that the Venomance is down, Dire just going to try and drop some aggressive wards, control up the triangle area. They're
Radiant's
just,
top tower is under attack.
I mean, looking to close this one out. This is going to be a difficult game for Vice. Maybe they can have some incredible high ground defense where they bait Dire to all group up, I think. Or someone's going to have to try and go in the middle and get Dire to group up, though. That's going to be the issue. And you know, who has
Radiant's
buybacks,
top
though, from
tower
them?
has
And
fallen.
unfortunately, no one's got buybacks on Radiant, so you can't really be this sacrifice to make them group.
And I don't think they care all that much about this movement that Palace is doing on the bottom side of the map. They're like, oh no, Ricky is trying to split push us. Yeah, he's got no potential. It's not like he even has a
Radiant's
battle
courier
fury to
has
do
been
so.
killed.
Yeah, and without, you can't really rat the high ground either. Like, it's just
Ew. Not as a Ricky.
no worry in the world. Is
Now they
Execration.
can just pick off Enryu.
Bob's even posturing on the high ground as well. Smoke's gonna pop. Mines are up, but they dropped the coil. Now the Mag's incredibly far away from the rest of the team, but the Bash is coming through. I mean, it will drop the RP.
Where's the
Controls
team?
up a couple, but the team's just not there at the moment. They're having their own battle down to the southern side, where Pelos
Lotus.
is trying to go to work here, but it looks like with the Lotus Orb, BDZ provides a distance. Now he's going to be able to blink away. Now with the follow-up, the Rock dropped onto 2. Lich stuck on the high ground. That they get Abyssal Blade control on top of the Tuskar. They try and deal with the Ricky. And this game is looking very difficult for them to come back from now, with Zenki just going to get chased down from Ken. It'll make him work for it. Ken's ability is about to come back up pretty shortly to claim that one. It's 3 down from Vice. They do have the Tusk scurry away and also Enru as well, but this is, I mean, Tusk doesn't have a TP. They're kind of stuck down here at the moment.
He's doing his best, but you can only do so much at a certain point.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, he's just in. He's like, all right, guys, let's
Let's end the game.
Radiant's top
yeah,
tower
pretty
is
much. I
under
mean, it's
attack.
45 minutes in. They got a 31,000 net worth lead, and this game continuing to go on. He's almost got that level 30 as well. So they'll drop the repair kit, see what they can do to try and stall out the Sven, which, like, it will be enough. So no quick coming through from Vice in this game 1, but it's really going to continue dragging it out for them, and could just be
Lotus
mid
Orb?
lane. Tusk once again with the Lotus Orb pops the BKB, but yeah, with the control things, the Abyssal Blade, they find Enru as well, controlled in the Atos. He's got a little bit of distance in the Force, but that coil breaks, and I mean, they don't have any buybacks, so Dire just, I mean, this should be it.
They got one more defense in him with the Lich and the Mag, although no RP, so probably not going to eventuate in anything. And now with the Chain Frost, they've got, how many Lotus Orbs? I feel like they've got at least 2. Maybe just the 1, but he's been so effective at using it on
Radiant's
the
top tower
Earth
has
Spirit
fallen.
that the Chain Frost is being reflected multiple times now.
Let's see what they can do. I mean, they're going to end up being down. Make it creeps here if they don't try and halt a defense,
Radiant's
and
top barracks
And Pelos trying to get them grouped up for a potential RP, but unfortunately it's still on cooldown for the Mags. And now with the bash coming out, they've got the detection pub, tries to skewer away, but unfortunately won't be able to get the distance. Now with the coil as well, locking in the Riki. Does do a decent amount of damage with the Chain Frost at the moment. Earthspirit's going to turn himself to stone and kick himself away. So they keep the life from Pelos, but it's Mega Creeps. He's going to get a kill on top of the backline, so does deal with the park, but he's still in no man's land to say the least. A nice attempt with the man to dodge, but this one is looking incredibly over as Vice, they call it quits.
Oh boy. That's a lot more traditional, you'd have to say. 95 kills, 47 minutes, not wanting to take Roshan. It felt like an uphill battle as soon as Fan got the Ag Scepter, basically. Like, I actually, yeah, having a look at the win probability, it just falls off a cliff towards Execration as soon as that that Ag Scepter's picked up. So it was rough for Vice. I'm sure you would hope that they've got a few things to take from that as learnings, but they've got a game number 2. It's not over for them yet, and I think if they are going to look to try and secure themselves a place in the upper bracket, these are the sorts of series that you, at the very least, need to go 1-1.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, against, I guess, unfortunately, you know, some of the open bracket teams, open qualified teams, you'd maybe anticipate to be placing lower in the group. So just the fact that if they want to make the run, you're gonna have to 2-0 this, because going up against some of the tougher teams, you know, T1, TNC, etc., it's gonna be difficult to take them down 2-0. But you know, at least some takeaway for Vice is that, you know, the laning stage went very, very well with how they were to set up with this Tusk Lich combo and the Riki, just a lot of kill threat, really, you know, limited kind of the factor that the Viper was able to have this game. So that's kind of something to keep in mind, where the laning stage, at least from Vice, was pretty strong, but they kind of just tailed off towards the mid to late game with their execution. So, you know, if they're able to work on that, come back with a second draft, and we'll see if they can try and deal with this Execration lineup here in game 2. So we'll take a short break, guys. Game 2, about a 10-minute break until that one's going to be up and ready for you guys. So Execration, a game 1 victory from them, and we'll see if they can close out the series.